What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool from Colossal Boxing Talk, along with
Smooth Cat. Colossal Boxing Talk as well.
and we here with the Road Warrior, Glen Johnson. How you doing today, champ?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining the show.
Definitely a fan of yours. So thanks. I go out there and try my best, fight hard, and hope people like it. So I appreciate the support.
Anytime. My first question is: you fought this past weekend in Denmark against Eric Skoglund. I hope I didn't mispronounce his name, but you lost a unanimous decision. Could you speak on that fight a little bit? And did you think you won?
I think I won the fight. He might have thrown more punches than me, but I think they mean less punches. He didn't throw any punches with the intent to hurt or even intent to score. He was just trying to move his hands. When I score, with some big clean shots throughout the fight with intent to hurt and scoring blows. And I really felt like I dominated the fight. And, the judges basically saw it a one-sided fight going his way. So, I felt like it was a tough decision. But it is what it is. I've been dealing with that for a long time, fighting at the road. So, there's not much I can say or do about it now.
I definitely watching some of that fight in the 10th round. I noticed that obviously your body work had paid off because you had him swinging and missing, and he was definitely tired in that fight. So it's always an uphill battle when you going to face another fighter in his home country, as you know so well. Doing it time and time again throughout your career, but it definitely was a closer fight than it was perceived by the judges. Smooth Cat.
Okay, hey Glenn, how's it going there? I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Okay, the question I want to ask is, we know throughout your career you've had a lot of close fights not go your way. Do you feel that you were one of the most I'll say disrespected fighter by the judges? Because like I said, I know it's a lot of fights you had that I've seen, and I was wondering how in the hell did they score against you? So, what's your take on that? Man, it's tough, man. I don't know everybody else's life that face tough decisions. I really feel like I face some bad ones. It just seems like maybe because I take more chances than other guys might willing to take by going into other people's backyard and take on those fights and those challenges. Maybe I put myself in those situations more than others. So, but I feel like I take the risk that's necessary to give me a chance to succeed, because without taking these fights, I don't fight. So I have to take these risks to give myself an opportunity. So, again, it is what it is. I know, been in boxing long enough to know that, know the chances I'm taking, know that this is a, hometown decision. It's one of the main reasons why people don't, if you have choices anyway, you don't go and fight on the road. You stay where you're secure. And, it is what it is. It's boxing, so we'll see. Okay. Hey, I definitely respect your answer. But the only thing I'll say is, like I say, being a fan, I know, like I say, it's quite a few fights that I can look at and be like, you know what, I don't know what the judges were looking at, but you still had a very accomplished career, sir. So like you said, you have nothing to be ashamed of at all, nothing at all, because you were a true warrior and a throwback fighter, and definitely nowadays, and especially with today's era, that's rare. So at least you can go out there that you fought your best, you fought your hardest at all times. You always gave full effort. So
I mean, you can't expect nothing else.
Yeah, well, thanks. That's what I decided to do with my career. I felt like, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna go and fight my hardest, and do my best. And if it resonates with the judges, I get the decision, and if they feel it in their heart, you take it from me, give it to the next man, and that's what it is. And then the people who watching the fights, hopefully resonate with them, and I will create some fans, generate some fans throughout my career, and people would like to see me fight. And I felt like I did that. I was successful at times, and at times, they basically just stole the fight. Some of them was clearer than others, but nevertheless, there's as well as I do, there's a lot of them there that you can close your eyes and still make a correct decision on who the winner is, and it went against me. So, again, I'm kind of immune to it at this point. 45 years old now, and they still have to rob 45-year-old man for 24. I think he was like 24, 26 years old to move him forward. I think that have very little to say about the young man. I agree.
Mr. Johnson, this is Big Cool. My question is to piggyback off of Smooth Cats is, you've known that you're also, you're known as the, road warrior for a reason because of your willingness to go to your opponent's backyard. My question is, do you think if those fights would have been, taking place on American soil, that you would have been on the other side of the winning decision, or you just think it is what it is, and I guess it's just things happen like that? Or do you believe that if fights had taken place over here, that your hand would have been raised more times than not?
Well, the thing about boxing is you can say hometown decision or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's the promoter's fighter. So, if I was fighting here in America and I was fighting the promoter's fighter, the same thing happens because, at the end of the day, whenever the promoter is promoting the fight, and whoever he's promoting, that's who the judges look for to give the benefit of the doubt to. So it's hard for me to say, yes, it was in America, the decision would have been more fair. When I know in the back of my head how the facts are in boxing, and it's not like we don't have our bad decisions here in America. So at the end of the day, the bottom line truth is the promoter's fighter is favorite to win the fight. He doesn't have to do as well as the other guy. He just has to do enough where the judges can see an opportunity to give him the fight. That's how boxing is. Unfortunately, it's a great sport. People love it. We're losing fans because of it. But at the end of the day, that is the blatant truth.
Hopefully, that changes, because, like I said, like Smooth has said, it was fights that I watched you in, and walk away like, wow, how could the judges score, the fight for whoever you was fighting? And it's just kind of injustice because, as fighters, you can attest to this. You spend so much time away from family. You put your body on the line, your life, and to come up and to have your fate in the hands of 3 judges, and they just blatantly, for whatever reasons, however they judge it or whatever the reason may be, for them to just, turn in a scorecard that just says you were not competitive when we all, watching the fight clearly see that you was. It's kind of disheartening. It makes you, question your love for the sport, because it's continued today. This weekend, Mauricio Herrera, he was robbed in his fight with Jose Benavides Jr. in a fight that he clearly won. But like you said, he was on the promoter's fighters card, and you kind of expected that to happen, unfortunately. Smooth Cat.
Okay, all right, Glenn. Now I want to ask you this: out of your career and out of the guys you fought, what are your top 2 favorite wins that you have?
my top two favorite wins, I would say when I beat Clinton Woods for the IBF world title. That's my number one win. And my number two win would be when I fought against Roy Jones.
Okay.
Interesting. Mike, you got to follow up on that, or?
Okay. Now with that being said, so with the Clinton Woods fight in particular, is it because it was for the title? What made it so special to you, or was it just winning that fight in general?
Well, no, it's definitely because the world title was involved. Because I mean, if you understand boxing, if it wasn't for that world title, I wouldn't get the Roy Jones fight. So I have to put things in perspective. Simply because I won that fight, I became a world champion, and because I was the world champion, then that's why I got the Roy Jones fight. And then once I beat Roy Jones, I was able to get the Tarver fight, and all of those, it's a chain. All of those things tied together. So that's how I look at it, and I put them in perspective that way, and I appreciated them in that order, and that's the reason why I say what I said.
Okay. I can respect that. They cool?
All right, Glenn. I know your boxing career isn't over, but have you ever gave thought to potentially, becoming a boxing trainer or a boxing commentator? You have a lot to offer to the sport of boxing. Like I said, you're a great fighter, and I know you can be a helping hand to an up and coming fighter or a fighter that's looking to rejuvenate themselves in their career. So have you gave much thought to doing those things outside of fighting?
Yeah, well, I definitely would have loved a chance to be a commentator. It is what I always wanted to do for many years now. I've never gotten those opportunities. I watch my boys get those opportunities, like Tarver and Roy Jones and those guys get good chances to do those things. And I'm hoping one day my phone will ring for an opportunity for that. And I am training some people now. I'm doing some personal training with white collar people, and I'm also training a couple of boxers. I have a couple of amateur fighters that I'm working with. I'm looking forward to whenever time I can train a professional fighter.
Well, that's big. Hopefully, you can get you a spot on one of these networks and give us your expertise and see how you would score a fight or what you look for, in a fight and in fighters in general. So we're definitely looking forward to that. Smooth Cat.
Okay, Glenn. Now with the current, like I say, with the current up and coming guys, is there any prospect out there that like has really caught your eye or like somewhat reminds you of yourself a little bit?
Well, I mean, Nicholas Walters is a Jamaican kid that I know. He was down here with us, spent some time in my training camp with my trainer and stuff. And he's a kid that I like a lot because he has an attitude like me. He doesn't box like me. He has a slightly different style, but he has an attitude like me where he's willing to fight hard, fight anybody, and he don't steer. He's not a man of fear, and I love that in a fighter who take on anybody anytime. And Nicholas Walters is one guy that I know of that have that kind of attitude. I'm sure more might be out there, but this is the only guy that I know has that attitude.
Okay. That's a solid choice. I'm a fan of Nicholas Walters too as well. Big cool.
That'd be a great thing. Thanks.
All right, Glenn. My next question is: I know that I'm pretty sure you watch a lot of boxing, and you also watch Bernard Hopkins closely. I wanted to get your thoughts on that fight between him and Sergey Kovalev, and going into that fight, who did you have winning that fight?
I thought Kovalev would have won the fight. I thought he did win. I thought Bernard Hopkins was able to plot his way throughout the fight. I didn't think Kovalev would stop him because Bernard Hopkins is very tricky. But I just thought Bernard Hopkins didn't have enough firing power to keep Kovalev honest, and this, is what I thought before the fight, and it's basically what I saw throughout the fight. I heard Bernard Hopkins said he might fight again, so I'm hoping he might consider me to be his next opponent.
Well, that would be like I said, that would be a great fight. If I'm not mistaken, didn't you fight him early on in both you guys' career?
Yeah, well, Bernard Hopkins actually the first man to beat me, so I would love an opportunity to revenge that loss.
Well, definitely respect that. You always respect the fighter that wants to right that wrong, in their career. And, maybe that happen. You never know. Smooth Cat?
Okay, now I want to ask you this. What fighter inspired you to become a fighter yourself? I mean, the guy who was the most influential on your career?
Well, actually, no fighter really influenced me to become a fighter, because it was an accident how I became a fighter. I went into a boxing gym just trying to lose weight because I was getting a little chubby, and actually start boxing and pick it up. And the trainer took a liking to me and started teaching me, and I was able to grow and got better over time. I've never even watched a boxing match prior to that. But after that, I started watching boxing and paid attention. Marvin Hagler is the guy that I had the most connection to. Out of all the fighters that I watched, he was a guy that just take on whoever and just crushing people. He was able to fight from both sides, even though I don't fight from both sides, but I just like what he represents while he was boxing. And so yeah, he had the most influence on me, but my boxing career is basically something I stumbled into.
That's an interesting name that you mentioned, Marvin Hagler, because similarities in your style. Y'all both would just beat on your opponent until they either quit or I guess they last the whole fight. So that's definitely a similarities in you all's styles. Because y'all were relentless and just determined and brutal inside the ring. So I could definitely see that connection between you and him. My next question would be, if you could have fought any fighter, I guess from 160 to 175 throughout history, who would it have been and why?
If I wanted to, want to say that again?
I want to know if you could have fought any fighter from 160 to 175 throughout the history of boxing, who would that one guy have been and why?
Well, if I would again, it would be Marvin Hagler. Because again, I like what he represents. I like his style. I like the way that he will fight anybody, and full court pressure and just kind of in there. And I have that same kind of attitude. So I believe that would create the best fight for the fans. Two guys that don't quit, two guys that's not running from nobody or just go out there and basically just giving fights what fight should be about, searching for those shots. So yeah, I would love that challenge. That would be the fight that I would like to perform for the people.
Yeah, that would have been a great fight because both of you guys are known for, very good power, tremendous chins, and tremendous wheels. So it would have been a give and take fight, and I could have seen a 15-round war or however long it lasted. Smooth, you got any more questions you would like to ask?
Okay, now with the current situation at 175, we know it basically the division is based off of the big fight between that's being talked about, Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson. Now, if those two got in the ring, who would you favor in that fight?
I would want to say Kovalev, but I think Stevenson. I think Stevenson is the better boxer. the problem with Stevenson, I don't think he has any chin. I don't know that for sure, but I suspect that he can take a punch. And even though I think that he would outbox Kovalev early, and if he don't stop Kovalev, I think Kovalev will end up knocking him out late. And that would be the only reason why I would go with Kovalev. But I do think Stevenson has more weapons than Kovalev. But only if Stevenson's chin is better than I'm thinking it is, then I would have to go with Stevenson. But if Stevenson's chin is what I suspect it is, then I'd have to go with Kovalev. But overall, just looking at their skills, Stevenson has more weapons than Kovalev.
Yeah, that's the consensus a lot that we hear with a potential fight. Either Adonis Stevenson outboxes Kovalev and potentially stops him, or that Kovalev walks right through him, because like you said, Stevenson was knocked out by Darnell Boone. Yeah, Darnell Boone. He was dropped by Fonfera. I'm pretty sure he was hurt and dropped in other numerous fights. So his chin is definitely a question mark. And like you said, for Kovalev, his chin, he was dropped against Capernello.
And Darnell Boone, too.
And Darnell Boone as well. So his chin, is kind of questionable, too. So, like I said, it'll be an explosive fight. Either Stevenson knocks him out.
Either way, we should be very entertained until it's over.
I definitely agree.
It'll be definitely entertaining.
I would love to see it.
I definitely would too. Before we wrap it up, I know you just fought again, but do you have any plans to fight again sometime next year?
Well, I have not made any decision yet, but like I said a little bit earlier, it would definitely make me feel better if my phone rate up when I would like to give it a rematch.
Well, there it is. Then Glen Johnson, Bernard Hopkins too. So Bernard Hopkins, if you're watching, Glen Johnson wants the rematch to right that wrong. So hopefully, it can come to fruition, and it could be another explosive fight. We want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to grant us this interview. It was truly an honor. Like we both said, we're big fans of you. We love what you brought to the sport, what you continue to bring to the sport, your mentality to fight, anybody, whenever, wherever, under any circumstance, and we respect you, and we look forward to talking to you again, and we wish you the best of luck throughout your career and your future endeavors outside of boxing. Smooth Cat, you want to say any parting words to Mr. Glen Johnson?
Hey, like I said, just continue doing what you're doing and keep fighting hard. You always got a fan here with Colossal Boxing Talk. And like I said, just God bless him. God bless you and everything you do.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All the best to you guys. Have a great holiday to you guys and your families.
Same to you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. And there you have it. Just wrapped up the interview with the Road Warrior, Glen Johnson. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Share the video. Give your thoughts on it. And just keep supporting us. Until next time, we out. Peace.